my name is Sheila Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I heard about the story like a little under a week ago, I think. That's when it started out. But honestly, it was too crazy. It was too silly. I thought, no, this is going to go nowhere. This is just insane. And then to my amazement, to my dismay and my amazement, it went somewhere, and it grew and it blossomed. And it's just absolutely crazy, so I wanted to bring it to you just for that. But also, it gives us real insight into why every form of entertainment that is made for the insane people that live on Twitter, the Twitterati, which these people we're going to be talking about sucks. Why it's boring and why they just don't work. And we're going to be learning about this from of course the Star Wars comic book, where you learn about everything good and important in the world. But before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? That'll be really, really nice. That actually will be really nice. Can you hit the share button? But mostly, can you hit that subscribe button? Can you hit the subscribe button? That'll be really, really nice. Thank you very much. I am pathetically and genuinely grateful to everybody subscribing again. Thank you very much. Of course, if you don't like what I'm saying, if you don't like my outlook, if you don't like my point of view, you better subscribe. You better subscribe, because you want to be first to know the terrible things I'm going to say, and you're going to want to come and counsel me. Okay, that's really important. So you should subscribe. Now, if you're one of the other people, or what I like to call the sane people, if you're one of the sane people, go ahead and subscribe as well. That'd be really nice. Now, what do you get if you subscribe? What do you get if you subscribe? Well, you get the good feeling, that warmness inside from doing a good deed for another human being. Now that really should be enough. But you know what? But wait, there's more. If you subscribe, you can enter my weekly competitions. This week the prize is Judge Dredd, The Pit, one of the best Judge Dredd stories. And this comes from a weird Twilight Zone from me from the early 90s, which is when I was in rabbinical seminary. I'm a rabbi, by the way. When I was in rabbinical seminary. And I wasn't reading 2008. I was living in Israel, in Jerusalem. I wasn't, I wasn't reading 2000 AD much time. So this comes from that period that I kind of missed and I caught up on later in life. And it's a really good one. It's really good. So Judge Dredd is essentially a fascist cop amongst other fascist cops in a totalitarian sci-fi future, which is, you had to be a fascist cop. And this story it's really interesting. Gets into the inner workings of what judges are like, because they are very aloof. They are separate from society. Judge Dredd is sent to run a sector house that's underperforming, which is kind of unheard of in the judges. And it's not just one story. He lives there for about a year, and you just see the kind of the soap opera drama, but it's kind of a cool soap opera drama unfold as he slowly turns the sector house around. And it's just a testament to the good writing, because you really do end up caring about these characters, and you are happy to see them progress in different ways. So anyway, I just did a little pod review to win this. And by the way, if you're a winner of any of my competition, I am hoping that my wife is right now at the mall. I said, please get me some bubble wrap, please get me some brown paper so I can package everything up. I'm hoping to get everything, including this week's prize, which I just gave away last night, in the mail in the next day or so. Okay, some of you have been waiting freaking months. Some of you waiting once, and I do apologize. So we need to do the winner. Subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag Judge DeMarco, which is I think one of the closest things Judge Dredd ever had to a love interest. It's JUDGEDEMA RCO, I think. Listen, check the video notes. There's going to be have it in there. Just copy and paste it. If you spell it wrong, it's cool. Also, check the video notes, because there is a sci-fi audio adventure for you to download and listen to. This is going to be a Judge Dredd one, as long as I get my act together to upload it. It's going to be a Judge Dredd one. This was created by a company called Big Finish about 10 years ago, maybe a bit more. But it's out of print, out of license. Cannot buy this puppy anymore, and I doubt you're ever going to be able to again. So go ahead, download it and enjoy it. I would say if you do download it, you do enjoy it, good for you. Head over to Big Finish at some point if they ever get the license back, and buy yourself a digital copy. Oh, you know what? Just be nice. Head over to Big Finish and buy yourself They got, whatever audio like. They got a bunch that are like $2.99. It's so worth it. So yeah, I do recommend them highly. Fine, let's get to the story. Let's get to the story that we were talking about, which is about Star Wars Bounty Hunters. So this is a comic book. So, because Star Wars comic books has a bit of a soft spot in my heart. Because I read the first Star Wars comic when it came out in 78, by the time we got it. We got those like reprints in England. But what was really cool about it, they adapted the original Star Wars movie over the first like 3-4 issues. I can't remember what it was. But after that, for like 3 years, they just made up their own like Star Wars universe and went in totally different direction. You had like it's such a weird change of canon, and you just love the creative freedoms. I always did enjoy the Star Wars comics has always had a soft spot for me. Disney, when they acquired Marvel, when they acquired Star Wars, was should have been a damn morning for fandom. Who knew how bad it was going to be? But they got Marvel to do the comic books, and I have to tell you, the initial runs were really good. I love that Star Wars that Darth Vader one and the Star Wars one. So I was into them the first couple of years. Now, of course, that was about the time that all media decided, you know what, we don't want to entertain you anymore. And honestly, if you don't share our politics or our ideological view on the world, we don't want you even buying our comics. So they filled up full with their clumsy, ham-fisted agenda, which was kind of bonkers. And the sales plummeted as we've seen across the board. In every freaking thing, sales plummeted, and they just make it for these blue checkmark Twitterati now. Apparently. But you know what? Never ever kowtow to the beast, which is the terrible justice. Social justice warriors that live on Twitter. Never kowtow to the beast, because they will eat you. They will turn and eat you in a second if you fail any of their relentless test of purity, which this comic book did. So Star Wars Bounty Hunters is about bounty hunters. And now, as I recall, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, which, by the way, Bosk is wearing a costume from a 1966 Doctor Who episode. It looks much better in it than it did in Doctor Who. They were like, oh, bounty hunters, they're scum, bad. And you got the feeling they were bad people. They were essentially criminals that had found some legal vocation for their criminal behavior, and they would like do terrible criminal things that work with criminal syndicates. These were bad people. So let's put all that in context and let's start reading this insane review. The same review from StarWarsNewsNet.com. And again, I was going to ignore this, but then he started a hashtag. The guy did this. And it took off. It took off. So okay, that's the weird world we live in. Fine, so let's read this review. I'm not going to read like the nitty gritty of what the story is, because who cares? Honestly, it's like the Star Wars from when I was a kid. Issue 15. They had a different Jabba the Hutt. So I'm like, it doesn't matter. None of this really matters. But it matters to him, and the reasons it matters is freaking incredible, freaking insane. Bounty Hunter returns this week, as he starts off. There should be a giant trigger warning on the cover of this book. Now, honestly, if you need a trigger warning, nothing should trigger you. I mean, like, honestly, anything that should trigger you shouldn't have a trigger warning on it. If you see, like, somebody eating a baby, and you have to have a trigger warning and go, oh, this is bad? Yeah, no, that means you're messed up. You are messed up. There's something wrong with you if that's how you look at the world. So there should be a giant trigger warning on it. Why should there be a giant trigger warning? Do they have the baby eating in there? Really? Maybe they just eat the baby faces. I don't know. Do they, like, what is the terrible thing they've done? It's easily one of the most vile, disturbing Star Wars stories I've ever read. I mean, you do remember that Princess Leia was tortured in Star Wars by what turned out to be her father, and then blew up her home planet. Really? So this is worse than that. Okay, torturing your daughter and blowing up her freaking planet. This is worse. This is absolutely worse. Okay, fine. Here, he's actually going to explain it now. The depiction of violence. Okay, this has got to be some incredible violence. Okay, you hear the violence against women. What? The violence against women takes Star Wars to a new low, and I advise no one waste their money on this book. No, Don't do it! Cancel! Cancel! No one makes them wonder all the following issues ever again. And quite frankly, we want everybody who worked on this book to kill themselves for their violence against women. Not their real violence, really, drawing depiction of violence. And again, this better be some sick S&M stuff. There better be fecal matter involved and blood, and it better be I better look at this and go, ugh. Now I have to tell you, I have a comic back there that a friend of mine did, and he floated, and it was taken off. It was on Kickstarter at first. It got taken on Kickstarter and put on Indiegogo because it's kind of like an Archie comic that deals with the necrophilia issue, and the cover is there's a all in the style of an Archie comic book, right? All in the style of an Archie comic. A corpse of a woman on the table. Okay, actually, it's all sewn up after the autopsy, and a guy having sex with it. Okay, and that's happening. That's on the cover, and then there's a Ouija board onto the side which says yes. Okay, with the things like yes, and people are bursting and going, "Oh my God, no!" Yeah, saying that, and they hit the line he says is, "It's okay, she consented." So that's me for you. I have a bit of a dark sense of humor, and I'm okay with dealing with offense. I actually find offense kind of fun. I don't like offending people for offending sake, but people I did feel like outrageous stuff is kind of fun. So yeah, that's the level you got to get to. No, that's way below you got to get way below that level for me to go. Okay, this is pretty bad. Fine. So the picture against women, and you low enough. Okay, no, blah 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 blah. If you're curious about the story, I'll do my best to summarize it. Oh, you're such a little hero. Oh, he's a cute little SJW. He's a cute little SJW. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. Good boy. Okay, whatever you are. I'll do it time as we usually do in our reviews, but this series went from mediocre to rotten. It's okay. I've got to highlight this because they did it in red to make it so important, which has the effect of not being able to see it properly. Okay, spoilers and descriptions of graphic violence against women ahead. Okay, do. Okay, you got to put things in context. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you to Google, but there's very frightening things you can see. Fine. So he waffles on, blah, blah, blah. Story about these inconsequential characters which nobody really cares about, and none of this really matters, right? Blah, 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 blah. Star Wars, blah. Oh, there's Bosk. Okay, there you go. And then, okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, where do we go? Yeah, okay, fine. Starting about the craziness over here. Valance and Tonga catch up with Nakado, Lash, and Cordelia. Okay, these names just sound awful. This is okay. Fine. Here we go. This is the point where things get crazy. This is where I recommend you stop reading this issue. What follows depicts the attempted murder of Cordelia's mother at the hands of a crime syndicate. Okay. Crime syndicates, generally speaking, are naughty people. People read crime novels, crime fiction, because they get a vicarious thrill over seeing naughty people doing naughty things. That's really and it does involve death, murder. I mean, have you ever seen Star Wars before? Because they do have lots of people shooting guns in there, and I hate to be the one to mention it, because somebody who worked on Clone Wars said it wasn't about wars. It's about wars. It is about a war in the stars. It's kind of like what it says on the tin, which does involve people doing bad things to each other. Okay, that's just the way it is, mate. Fine. What follows the attempt of the mother at the hands of the crime syndicate because he got her pregnant. Okay, if his syndicate family discovers he fathered a child with somebody outside there, so it's basically Romeo and Juliet. Okay, it's Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. Okay, that's what 600 years old. Oh, fine. I don't know. Now I'm gonna sound stupid if I have no idea when Shakespeare lived. Back in the olden days. Okay, more than 30 years ago. Okay, and so somebody outside the steps and he'll lose his inheritance. Yeah, what really? If he will lose his inheritance, that doesn't sound so terrible. But okay, that's what's going to happen. Okay, so they tried to kill a woman who was pregnant, and apparently they failed. So he goes on, this guy, and goes, "That's right. You read that right. What? I don't know what I read yet. I read that right. If the description doesn't already disturb you, the art is horrific. Corinthia, Cadelia's mother, barely escapes, but she dies in childbirth." Oh, really? Honestly, I've never seen that before. Never heard of somebody dying in childbirth. Are you out of your mind? Really? I have to tell you. I used to work at the Holocaust Museum here in Israel, called Yad Vashem. I go and walk around there and read some of the stories. I think I'll put, and because those things really happened, I think I'll put this in context for you. You are insane, you crazy person. You are insane. Star Wars needs to stop killing women, especially mothers. So let me get this straight. If you have a female character, they can't be killed. If they're killed, that's wrong. That's evil. Doesn't that make it a little bit boring? But I think we'll go one step further. I remember what was it? There was a whole thing a couple of years ago about Batwoman being kidnapped by Joker, and they reacted the same way, like, no, violence against women, I mean, okay. So you can't kidnap or kill them, right? Is there anything else? Is there like what bad? I mean, because we need some kind of dramatic tension. So what bad can happen to a woman in these crazy people's minds? What bad in fiction? What bad can happen? Because I think you kind of need that so the stories aren't very, 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 very boring. And I think that's probably why your stories are very, very, very boring. And also, again, you're telling all women, right? Women, if they see another woman get killed in a story, they're going to what? What's going to happen? Or are men going to go, oh yeah, bit of woman death there. I love it. Love me a bit of woman death. Think going to go kill me a woman because whoa. What? No, that wasn't a subliminal command. Nobody did that. No, they're just insane. Female characters are too often reduced to tropes or vessels, delivering saviors and then killed. Okay, really? Tropes or vessels. Andrea was a trope. She was an ongoing trope because she had no bloody character or personality or reason to exist. General Hodo, again, she was the trope of a incredibly bad SJW commander who got everybody killed. Princess Leia. Again, can you just can you back this up in any way, shape, or form? I'm loving to hear it. Killed, oftentimes with the most brutal depictions. Okay. That I'm really not surprised this type of violence shows up in Bounty Hunter. I'm always disappointed Star Wars continues this trend. Again, what trend? They treat women like human beings? Is that something you don't like or something you do like? Okay, so let's just recap, okay? You can't have anything bad happen to somebody with protected status. A woman, a trans woman, a black woman, a gay woman, nothing. Also at the same time, minimally 50%, or it really has to be a more now, I think, has to also be these people of protected status. So it seems to me that we have to fill our entertainment with people of protected status, so people get to see themselves in things. So they don't see themselves as nothing, their head's gonna explode, right? So they're gonna feel bad. They might feel bad that they're a little bit different. See, this is why I think sci-fi fans, Doctor Who fans, Star Trek fans, Star Wars fans are a little bit flummoxed by this insane attitude, because most of us got into these genre things because we were in ourselves a little bit different, right? We're all a little bit different. Yeah, that's certainly Doctor Who. I think that's why that appealed to. I think that's probably why there's always been such a big gay following for Doctor Who, or LGBT following Doctor Who. It's meant to appeal to people who are a little bit different, a little bit out there. But according to these insane people, feeling a little bit different is a terrible thing, and that can't, they can't not cope with that at all, and it's violent. It is actual violence. Drawing somebody, getting shot in a comic book is actual violence to these crazy, insane people. So fine. So we can only have people who protect the status in our entertainment, and we can't. And nothing bad can happen to them at all, other than maybe like in Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel had a guy, they cut it out. They cut out the scene saying, hey, can I get a smile? And then she killed him or stole his bike or something. I think she can see like the male patriarchy being bad. But that, I don't think anything else can happen. So essentially, when you watch SJW and the Twitterati's approved entertainment forms, you can be guaranteed not much is gonna change from beginning to end. Fine. So I'm really not surprised. Okay, blah 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 blah. Let's hear Rabbi. Okay, this guy, I'm not gonna say his name because he's but whatever his name is, lives again. Who you would never guess where he lives? Portland, Oregon. Oh, really? When he's not running trails or setting fire to government buildings to show how great he is, he's reading and writing. Oh, you keep on with that reading and writing. Maybe you'll get it right one day. Fine. So let's go. Let's go back to this insanity. And this isn't it. This isn't the. Okay, this is insane of itself, but that people listen to this is the crazy bit. We're not actually at the crazy bit yet. The reason all the bounty hunters track Nakado Lash is retribution for the murder of her own syndicate. Tonga learns it wasn't Lash who killed her brother, but it was Boba Fett. Yeah, Boba Fett's supposed to be a badass assassin. Then Boba Fett shows up. Okay, this is the word bit. This is the worst bit. And kills her. Yes, a killer shows up and kills someone. That is shocking. Absolutely shocking. But why is this shocking? We're going to find out. Tonga is shot in the back and brutally depicted. Honestly, I grew up with 2000 AD, which had these wonderful blood splatters when anybody was shot, and that was brutally depicted, and we enjoyed it. It was kind of fun. Fine. Okay, so here we get to the real insanity. Killing the single queer person of colour who also happens to be the most interesting character in the series for the sake of a cliffhanger and Boba Fett's dramatic entrance says a lot about Ethan Sachs. I'm disappointed in you, Ethan Sachs, and I'm gonna cancel you and hope you kill yourself! It also says a lot about Star Wars. I'm very disappointed. Oh, you are? You're very disappointed, you poor little SJW. It's gonna be okay. Writer Ethan Sachs does not have a good track record. I enjoy very little of what he's contributed to Star Wars. If I see his name attached to a title going forward, I'll definitely avoid it. And hope he's cancelled. I'm shocked. You are shocked because you're an arsehole. That's why you're shocked, because you're a dick. I'm shocked this issue made it to market. Yeah, no, nobody saw the problem because you're crazy. So again, they said we've got to have representation. Representation is everything. So this was a single. There was a queer person of color. So a queer person of color. There's lots of representation. Representation is very, very important. But anybody who is being represented whatsoever, nothing bad can happen to them, and that might be why everything they make is so freakishly boring. I mean, on top of being like repugnant and hateful and just stupid. It's so boring. And I just can't wait for it to be over when I'm watching any of this garbage that I have to review. I mean, really, it's just... If I see it, I would definitely move it. I'm shocked this issue made it to market. Yes, I continue. Star Wars is a story about hope. Again. Darth Vader tortured his daughter, and then Han Solo was tortured in the next movie, tortured his daughter, and then blew up her home planet in front of her for giggles. Essentially, for giggles. For no other reason. Okay, well, they were trying to get the name of the secret base, which he didn't even give. Yeah, you go, Princess Leia. Yes, bad things sometimes happen. Well, Bad things happen sometimes, but violent bad things happen too often to women. Really? Really? Citation, please. Can you just back this up with any? Okay, I understand that's your insane view of reality, right? But yeah, I don't think more than happens to men. In fact, I think probably violent crime happen to men like about 20 times more than women, right? I think so. I mean, I can't remember the stats, but I think it's something like crazily disproportionate. What kind of hope does why does this keep happening? It doesn't. What kind of hope does this offer? It's a story about bounty hunters. There's a dark history of women being devalued in storytelling, and Star Wars should do better. The truth about this guy is, in my opinion, in my guess, I've never met him, is that he doesn't care about women. He doesn't care about women being devalued or whatever. He cares really about everybody going, oh my gosh, you're so brave, you're so stunning, you're such a great you're a crusader for goodness. Again, if you're anybody who writes like this and you think like this is what you need to do. Okay, this is what you need to do. Go out and do something good with your life. Get off the internet, and just do something altruistic. Go and help in a soup kitchen thing, and don't tweet about it. Don't tell anybody about your virtuous good deeds you do, because that devalues them, right? That devalues them. And if you do that, you will feel good about yourself, and you won't end up being a prick like this. There's much better writers Star Wars can showcase, and I hope they utilize them moving forward. Even though I will not be reading this, I hope fans I hope fans speak up. They did. They spoke about this because it's time for this disturbing trend that doesn't exist to end right now. I'm saying it right now. By the way, I have a theory. About why these people are so freaking crazy. Okay, it's a theory that came to me the other day. This is essentially the first generation that grew up with instantaneous, unlimited free porn, like instantaneous unlimited free porn. And I remember at the time going, this is probably going to work out badly. This is probably going to work out badly for the world. And yeah, I think it did, because I think getting that that a dopamine rush, instantly with no work whatsoever, has just made them into like the biggest losers in the world. I like that. They're basically all massive pussies. It's invasion of the pussies. Right now, Star Wars really doesn't feel like it for everyone. Star Wars really doesn't feel like it's for everyone. Like, what, Star Wars fans? Yeah, they don't feel it's like for them anymore. They kind of left in droves because it doesn't feel like Star Wars. And no, not all Star Wars is good. It's a good Star Wars. Okay, yes, I know that. I've seen The Rise of Skywalker. I've seen The Last Jedi. All Star Wars isn't all good Star Wars, right? There's never been a Star Wars comic I've walked away from. Oh, really? Well, how old are you? What, 12? I walked away from. But this is the last time I will read Bounty Hunter. Ah! So, in a more sensible world, people will just look at this guy and go, this guy needs help. We need to get him some kind of like psychological treatment because he's freaking nuts. He's insane. But we don't live in that world. So it then became a thing on Twitter with its own hashtag. A hashtag Star Wars hates women, or hashtag SW hates women. I mean, really? You can't even get to write the whole Star Wars. You're just going to go SW. So I'm just going to read a few. This was compiled by Ichibaka. Thank you very much. I took it off your Twitter feed. So the first person says, Eowyn says, who has a picture of Rose Tico as an avatar, of course. I am so disturbed and in tears after seeing the snippet of... I haven't even read the whole thing. Snippet of Boba Fett comic. It makes me rethink my commitment to Star Wars as a whole. Oh, right, because your commitment sounds really rock solid. I wish I could separate the stories I love from the disgusting, racist, misogynistic content. You are crazy. You're crazy. You got to treat people equally. And if you don't do that, you're a bad person. Bad person. Not good person, bad person. So this one, I love this one. The second one has the little clappy emoji, which is somebody explained it to me. It means like you say this in between each word, right? Into somebody's face. Like, who would do that? Like, what? Oh, yeah, yeah. Women, women love Star Wars too. So stop treating us like garbage. Okay, no one's treating like garbage. You're crazy, Strawberry Scribes. You're freaking out your mind. Then McNeil is learning violin. Well, good for you, McNeil. I'm glad you're learning violin. I've never felt so uncomfortable reading Star Wars. Really? You should try reading Star Wars while you're having an enema, maybe. And I think you will feel more uncomfortable. And now it's hard. Now that it's hard. And now that it's had time to settle, I'm nauseous. If anyone needs to talk, my DMs are open. Oh! Okay, again, this comic showed Boba Fett shooting someone, and they're still going, oh God, she's got another tweet. Let's see what else she's got to say. I'm emotionally broken and exhausted. Today it hurt so much, so many of us, and it doesn't feel like we have any power to do anything. You don't have any power to do anything. But I told my teammate, what team? How'd you have a team? Well, McNeil was learning about it. I told my team earlier that we have to keep moving forward if we're going to fight. What are you going to fight? Like, why do you want women to be boring in entertainment, right? Well, why? I have to take my own advice. About what? About my own advice that you are absolutely freaking bonkers. So Kiri, who has a rainbow emoji in her name, which I refuse to use, the rainbow emoji. Really, I'm not going to use any sign to say I don't hate somebody because of their identity. I'm not doing that. Or any sign to say I agree with you because of your identity. Because I don't, okay? Yeah, I try and view people as people, which I think is probably the better way of doing it. So she goes, it's so sickening to see something that I loved, that helped me during dark times, continue to hurt me and side with bigots as I get older. Yeah, really, join the club, darling. Join the club, darling! Yeah, that's how we all feel over here in the Fandom Menace, right? You're the bigots. You're the biggest. So you took the things we loved and you used it to be to hatefully tell us you hate us. The irony of the writer of said comic tweeting against they can't even write Comicscape. Tweeting against Comicscape while writing such a toxic and misogynist story. You see, never, ever, ever support the mob. Never support the mob. So yeah, listen, this goes on forever. Who gives a crap? These people are insane. These people are out of their minds, and these people, I don't know. I think must be opposed. I think that's why we exist, because they're absolutely out there all, mind. Okay, I'm just seeing another one out the corner of my eye, and I'm also curious as to why Boba Fett is killing lesbians. I think he was killing his target. Okay, I don't think he was. Wait a minute. Well, You, my bounty over there. Do you like to eat carpet? Do you eat carpet? Yeah, no. Okay, you do. You don't. Okay, I can shoot you. But if you don't, no. Okay. So Star Wars definitely hates women, huh? It just feels like SW hates women. Okay, because you're out your freaking mind. You are out your freaking mind. Do not listen to crazy people. Do not engage with people. Do not talk to anybody that I've spoken about in this video. They are crazy. And don't engage with crazy people. My name is Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.